Yeah. Let's go.
It's stadium seats, so what does that mean? That mean it's Frizz, Gemz, and Tay, and we hot in the scene. Every platform possible, you know it's the team. To emails, the airways, down we counting the streams, it's love. To all the sports fans that's rocking the building. And when we turn, please admit that you're craving the feeling. Frizz and Gemz, please believe. You know how we rock, right? Tay with the red bottoms, now she's taking the spotlight. Frizz, let's make sure we get that #1 spot tight. Cause when we rock right, we do tours, take top flights, the tailgate crazy. The fans, they amaze me. Salute to all the fans that have been rocking with us lately. Love.
Yeah.
Stadium seats.
And now, introducing your Stadium Seats podcast crew from Pittsburgh, PA. Stand up, Frizz Nation, Frizz. Also hailing from Pittsburgh, PA, that dude with the smooth groove, Gemz. Finally, the red bottom queen from Brownsville, Texas, Tay. Stadium Seats. We here. Let's go. Stadium Seats, Frizz, Gemz, and Tay. We are back with another fire episode.
Yeah,
Hello,
let's go.
hello.
You can follow us at Seat Stadium on our Twitter. We are up to 1,100 followers
Damn, we're going fast.
Yes, we
on our
are.
Twitter.
That's exciting to me.
Absolutely. Real exciting news, guys.
Oh yeah, breaking news.
We are on iHeartRadio. Shout out to that.
Shout out,
Yeah.
shout out.
So you can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Weezer, okay, Cast FM.
Is that the Android app equivalent to
There's
Apple
no, that's an Android app separate. Basically, all the major platforms we are on now. So shout out to that, guys.
Yeah, that's all for me. So
Congratulations.
no excuses for not listening to this podcast or not knowing who Stadium Seats is. So come on, guys.
Congratulations, y'all. It's Wednesday here.
Yay, hump day.
Well, Wednesday night. Let's do
What day is it?
Hump day.
it. Okay.
Okay. Well, Gemz is excited.
I'm excited. Yeah. One, two.
Stadium Seats Podcast at gmail.com. Email segment. Let's go. All right. Email segment, but tonight is
That's
the
right.
Twitter segment. What do we got up, Tay?
We got a couple of fans that are sending us DMs and are tweeting us questions and topics that they want. I'm sure they don't want to hear what I say. They want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's start with at Halfway Crook 86.
Shout out Halfway Crook 86. I like the name.
Right?
I like it.
Who thinks of that name? Halfway Crook does.
Hey, Gemz,
Yeah.
what song was that, dude? Back in the day.
Halfway
I
Crook.
think it was Mob Deep, right?
Yeah. Ain't no
Shook one.
such thing as no halfway crooks.
Maybe
Shout out to
that's
Mob Deep.
That's awesome.
Shouting out Mob Deep on Seat Stadium.
Mob Deep and at Halfway Crook 86. His question is, would you say Mike Tomlin is overrated or incredibly overrated? I like that question.
Gemz, take it away, buddy.
Tay, can you please repeat this question again? I just can't. I thought we went
He
over
wants
this.
to know.
I just don't understand it. I just don't understand the
It's for
question.
the fans.
I think
I get it.
I think I sensed some sarcasm in this question. Would you say Mike Tomlin is overrated or incredibly overrated?
I think he's neither. Um, but good question though. Whoever's trying to trip us up. Listen, he's not overrated. He's not incredibly whatever he said.
Overrated.
But yeah, overrated. Listen, I think Tomlin's a great coach, and you could tell what he did this year with the team that he had, all of the obstacles that they faced with injury and just, pulling players just from the practice squad and trying to implement them to be good ball players on a professional level. I think he did a great job. I think he did a great job with the defense as well. I know he had his hand in that as well. So you're starting to see the Mike Tomlin imprint when it comes to the defense as well, especially the defensive backs. So, you know what? Just wait till next year when they're all healthy, when you got Big Ben back. And I think that a lot of the fans will be singing a different tune. You just got to look at what happened this year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And there's a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of unfortunate situations that happen with them, especially with health-wise. So how can you sit there and ask that question when he almost, Mike Tomlin almost made the playoffs?
Yeah.
So I just don't understand that question.
I think it is a little sarcastic, from our new fan on Twitter, but I definitely think that he's underrated in a way by a lot of Pittsburgh fans. The Pittsburgh faithful call for his head once he loses one game. And it's mind-boggling to me because the man has never had a losing season, and we've talked about this several times. He's 133, 74, and 1 overall. Okay, he has a 642. He has a 642 win percentage. Okay, that's up there in the greats. Okay, he's won 2 Super Bowl titles. He's never had a losing season. I'm going to reiterate that. And I agree with you, Gemz, 100%. He did what he needed to do to keep that team competitive. He weathered the storm. Always the next man up. His mentality, standard is a standard. He is probably one of the best speaking head coaches for press conferences. I really enjoy listening to that man talk. But I think he's unappreciated in the city of Pittsburgh, which is kind of upsetting to me because of what he's done for that team in his whole career. So overrated? No, I don't think so. I think he's living up to his expectations. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
I mean, that's just me, Yeah. That's Frizz's take on that.
Frizz Nation.
Frizz Nation. So shout out to Halfway Crook 86.
Halfway Crook 86. We appreciate the tweet
Much
on Twitter.
love.
We're gonna move on to BLKNAU, who is at H647158813. That sounds like a song, right? 8675309 86753.
Okay.
All right.
So he wants to know, do you guys have any info on Shazier's future with the Steelers?
All right, I'll go first. Looks like BLK and AU, he's a big Steeler fan. He got a Fitzpatrick banner there. He got a Steelers profile picture.
I like that.
I like it too. So thanks for the question. Appreciate you. Much love. You're an official Stadium Seats season ticket holder now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I know Ryan Shazier is a free agent this year. They paid him last year, okay, after they rewarded him with that $8 million contract after being injured, which was a class act move by the Pittsburgh Steelers organization.
Definitely.
The man is by far has the biggest heart probably in the NFL. They said he'd never walk again. I don't think this man ever plays football again. I hate to say that. I just really don't think so. Just by the way he walks and carries himself, I don't see him out there running anymore and taking physical contact. And it's a shame because he could have been one of the greats. And this is just me talking just from watching him. I mean, I don't know, Ryan. And, I just think that he is done playing football. I would love to see the Steelers retain him as possibly a linebackers coach because I know he did a great job this year with, the rookie Devin Bush. And everybody looks up to that guy. He's a true leader. Okay. What do you guys got?
So you're saying that you can see him maybe not on a roster, but in a coaching position.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense because I know that he did play the mentor role to a lot of the rookies. They had a lot of rookies this year.
Yeah.
He did play that role, that mentor role to a lot of the players, and he did it very well.
What do you got, Gemz?
He is a free agent, so his future is uncertain, right? So obviously about that. So who knows the next steps, but hopefully that, whatever he does, wherever he goes, he's going to be a successful guy. He's a hard worker. He's a great guy. Everybody loves him. And I tell you what, if I was him, I don't know if I would play. I don't know if I would want to play. And I know that he does want to play. But just me, knowing what he went through and what his body went through, I just don't know if it's a smart thing to come back and play. But if he comes back and plays, no matter what team he's on, I'll be cheering for him because it's a great story. He's a tough guy, and he's a heck of a football player. So shout out to him.
Absolutely, man. Shout out Ryan Shazier, the Lion. Okay. He's got a lot of heart. And thanks for your comment. I appreciate it. BLK and AU, Black and AU. Auburn, maybe. I don't know. But that's awesome. Thanks for the question. And be sure to listen in. We got one more, right?
We have one more, and this is from our ever faithful Brandon.
Shout out to that.
And Brandon's got an interesting question. He says, what's everyone's thoughts on the Giants' new head coach, Joe Judge? Can he fix the Giants, or is this just another Bill Belichick coaching staff that won't pan out as a head coach? Wide receiver and special teams coach? Come on, man. My thoughts, they could have done better.
Great question.
Do you agree with Brandon?
I'll go real quick. I don't know much about Joe Judge, honestly, B-Hep, 31. The only thing I know is he's been under Belichick, and that's one of the greatest coaches ever. So great man to learn from. I think that he can do a good job there. Receivers coach, everybody's got to start somewhere. And if you look at who's coaching the Tennessee Titans right now, I think he's panning out pretty well. And even though he played with him and not necessarily coached with him, but he learned a lot from Bill Belichick. I think no matter who you are, player / coach in his system, I think you're going to do great. Example, Josh McDaniels. He's maybe the front runner right now for the Browns, but there's still some competition. We know that. But to answer your question real quick, I think he is going to do a good job because I think the Giants are on the up and up, if you ask me. I think that they got a great running back. Daniel Jones is going to pan out. Shepard's a good receiver, and I definitely think they're going to address the defensive needs. So that's my take on it.
Well, could the Giants have done better? Yeah, they could have. Do we know much about Joe Judge? No, we don't. We just know he's a wide receivers coach. And did he have something to do with special teams too, or no? Did he have parts of that, or no? I might be wrong.
Yeah, he did. He was a wide receiver and special teams coach.
Right. So I just think when there's vacancies in the NFL, and you have the owners looking at what type of franchise do I want? Like, what type of system do I want? What type of discipline do I want? What type of team do I want? You know, they want that Patriots way. And I just think that it's not about if Joe Judge is a good coach. It's about where he came from and the discipline and the values that he will implement with, in that locker room. And I think a lot of locker rooms need that in the NFL. There's a lot of undisciplined locker rooms. So it's like, I know that a lot of Belichick's coaches under his tree, haven't been the most successful, but what they bring to that locker room is a much needed value, So I think owners are looking at that and they want that Patriot way. Like, a lot of these teams don't have a Tom Brady, but they can't implement that system, but they can implement different things to get a winning franchise going. So I just think that they look at that when they look at, the Patriots coaches and the coaching tree. But shout out to Joe Judge. The Giants, I think it's a good job to have. They got some talent there. They're going to bring some guys in, and they got a promising quarterback and a running back. So, grab a couple receivers and some offensive linemen, and the Giants may be back. That division isn't that strong, so we'll see. So shout out to them.
Real quick fun fact about Joe Judge: he started out as a D3 linebackers coach. He taught 1 year of kindergarten in Mississippi.
Did he really?
Yes.
Wow.
And he's learned from 2 masters of the craft. So, you got to start somewhere, right?
I think that's awesome. I
we'll
think
see
the
where he's at.
kindergartners certainly might have helped his patience skills.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot different than kindergarten. And there's just a little quick fun fact. Hey, thanks. Appreciate the love. At BHEP31.
Absolutely.
You are the man. You are a citizen here. Hey, guys, let's switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
Stadium Seats presents Tay's Take.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Tay's Take tonight.
Tay's Take tonight. Let's talk a little bit about some primetime TV airtime that we had on Sunday. And I know that everybody has heard about it or seen it, unless you're living under a rock. But let's talk a little bit about the Golden Globes. So did y'all watch it?
Yeah.
What did y'all think about the host, the Ricky Gervais, and how he opened up the event? Let me just start by saying that I think he killed it. I think a lot of people, I've been taking to social media and I see a lot of negative comments towards him, like he shouldn't have said that, he's insensitive, blah, blah, blah. But you have to take into account his role. He is a comedian. So if you ask me, he nailed it. And I actually agree with what he said. You're not an expert in politics. Don't think you're going to educate the world in whatever your view is. Just come up here, accept your award, thank your agent, and sit down. I won't use the words he used. What do y'all think?
What you got, Gemz?
I laughed with a couple of his jokes, He had the crowd going. It was entertainment. And I just think, with opening up in the Golden Globes, and those type of events, they're big events out there in Hollywood. And, they just try to, bring some humor to the situation. Again, not, I don't agree with everything that he talked about, but all in all, it was funny. And, it is what it is. He had the crowd rolling, so he must have did a good job. And he kept saying, they're probably not going to ask him to come back. So he kept saying that. I
don't know. He did his job and he got ratings and he got views. So if you ask me, he did his job and he nailed it. So,
yeah.
He did what he needed to do. Another thing, I want to talk a little bit about the dresses and all, because you can't talk about the Golden Globes and not talk about the dresses. J-Lo, she's beautiful. She's one of my favorite humans in all of Earth.
No doubt.
That dress has to, come on, girl. She's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful inside and out, beautiful body. And she chose to wear a dress that it did not help her accentuate her body. I mean, not that she needs to accentuate it, but why not? She was trying to hold the envelope and trying to open it or whatnot. She was having trouble reaching the envelope because she had to go under that big ass bow, covering, 3/4 of her body.
Right. Right.
The one I really liked and the one that I think takes the cake is Selma Hayek.
Oh, Lord.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Talk about Golden Globes. Let's talk about her.
Oh, she's got 2 nice ones.
Well, she's beautiful. I mean, her just, and she's just beautiful inside and out. Let's talk a little bit about Jay-Z and Beyonce. They walked in fashionably late.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they
Okay.
did. And not only did they do that, they had to bring in their own champagne because the official champagne of the Golden Globes, Moet, is not enough for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in their table where they were sitting and the surrounding tables, the champagne ran out. So guess who took it upon themselves to turn around and ask them for, hey, can I get a glass of champagne? Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, nice.
Like
Okay.
it. Hey.
Can you imagine that?
Cheers to
Cheers.
that.
Hey, babe, can I get some champagne?
You know what's real funny, though? Before we move on to our other questions here in sports, how hammered was everybody there?
Oh, you know who was really visibly like, he couldn't even hide it?
I mean, it's a 3-hour show.
What is his name? Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker?
Yep.
Okay, so he was one of the last ones that his got an award where he actually won. By the time he was up there, he was like visibly drunk or on something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Man, shout out to
That's what happens.
Shout out to the Golden Globes.
Yeah, I gotta send a shout out to Ellen because I really love Ellen and she won it's yes,
Lifetime, right?
yes.
Lifetime.
What is the name? McCarthy? No, not McCarthy.
Who knows?
But she won one of the awards, and just the story behind it. They gave a little story about it and her credentials and what she went through to get to where she is now, and it's very moving, very touching. So shout out to Ellen. Ellen, hit me up, Ellen.
Huge
I
fan
want
of
to be
Ellen.
on the
Huge
show.
fan. I want to dance on Ellen's show. I want to
With
dance.
I'd love to see
She
that.
likes to dance. So.
All right, I'm done.
Moving on.
Frizz is over here like, all right.
Nah, let's go. I just want to switch it up a little bit from talking about sports and throw a little wrinkle in there. That's good. I like that.
Good.
What do we got up next, Tay?
We got some questions that were emailed.
Okay.
So we're gonna address them between you and Gemz. So the first one is Mike McCarthy the right fit for the Cowboys?
You know what? I'll go real quick, and we kind of talked about this earlier, Gemz. I don't think anybody's the right fit for the Cowboys just because of Jerry Jones, and I won't spend much time on this because I think that guy runs the show. It's going to be interesting to see what Mike McCarthy can do. He did win a Super Bowl. He did beat my Pittsburgh Steelers. He coached the Green Bay Packers very well. He is from Pittsburgh. Shout out to that. Helen from Greenfield, actually. I definitely think that he was the right pick, but I don't know if he can get along with Jerry Jones. Let's see. I know they said he slept over his house the night before. Kind of weird. Then the next day he was hired. I don't know. But, kind of weird to me, if you ask me. But, I'd probably stay in a hotel. I just don't think that they're going to pan out getting along because I don't think anybody will. I think he got the talent, and I think he knows how to lead. So we'll see what happens. What do you got, Gemz?
I don't think it's weird that he stayed over his house because I think this was in the making. I don't think that they just brought him in for an interview and said, hey, I think that there was talks behind closed doors. But that's number one. Number two, I think McCarthy is the right fit for the job. Actually, I really do. I don't think Jerry Jones. Um, I don't think he has his hand into the offense. I think Mike McCarthy is a genius when it comes to an NFL offense. He has all the pieces. Like, this is the best job on the market. This is a coach's dream to get this job here. I think he is the right fit. I don't know about all like his presence in the locker room, but just regarding the offense, I think that he could get the Cowboys rolling. The Cowboys are going to go deep into the playoffs next year. It's a solid team offensively and defensively. So I think he's the right fit.
All right.
Before we move on, it's really interesting. The Steelers play at Dallas next year.
Oh,
absolutely,
yeah.
But I think that game is going to be on Thanksgiving Day.
You think?
It's a big possibility.
Well, the Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just super excited if that happens. Prime time or daytime, whatever it is, but everybody's watching. And Mike Tomlin versus Mike McCarthy, and might get to see it on Thanksgiving, fellas.
They also play the Houston Texans at Pittsburgh. So I'm excited because those are two Texas teams, and I really want to go to both of those games.
Absolutely. I can't wait. See what happens. Big Ben, get back. What we got up next, hey?
Next question. Who should the Cleveland Browns hire to lead them as head coach?
Gemz, kick this one off.
Who should they hire? I think they should hire an offensive mind guy that has good presence in the locker room, that's going to show some discipline, that can lead. Now, there's a lot of candidates out there. Now, they had a lot of defensive coaches or coordinators in there for interviews this week and last week, but they haven't interviewed Josh Daniels yet. I think that, if Josh wants to leave New England, I think this would be a good job for him, because if you implement a good offense over there, you got good pieces on the offensive end. And Cleveland has a good defense as well. They got to, straighten up that discipline over there in the locker room. But I think someone coming from the Belichick tree, I think Josh Daniels has a good shot if they're still interested in him, because reports came out there's stiff competition over there. They're interviewing everyone. The Cleveland Browns organization want to get this right. So, but I think someone like Josh Daniels that could come in and get that offense going and really, be a mentor to Mayfield.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm going to go opposite. I think they need to bring in Robert Saleh, if that's how I pronounce his name. Am I saying that right? Saleh or Saleh? The 49ers DC.
I like him too.
Energy.
I like him. Yeah.
I like his fire. I mean, just from watching him on the sidelines, and that defense is rolling. He got it going. I know he got a lot of stars, but I think with his intensity and his leadership, I think he can really take control of a Cleveland locker room that needs to be controlled. You do have a lot of stars, like you mentioned. You got Landry, you got Odell Beckham, you got Baker Mayfield that called his head coach an idiot on the sidelines. A video came out this week. He was, Kitchens came over and talked to him, and he said something, grabbed him or something, messing with him by the face, and he walked off, and then Baker Mayfield said, the guy's an idiot, and, it was definitely him saying it.
Yeah, I saw that video. It didn't sound like anything good or positive or in a joking manner. It definitely was the coach. I don't even know what he was doing, but he was poking at his face or something, grabbing his face, his chin or whatnot. And Baker Mayfield was visibly not happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think they go with somebody like them. And I know there's a lot of talk on Jim Schwartz, the Eagles DC too. He's been a head coach before in Detroit and, didn't do so great. But, and then you got Eric Bieniemy too, the Chiefs OC. So he's still a little bit of a dark horse. So look out for him too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition
So
out
we'll
there.
see what happens.
We'll see.
Shout out to that, and we'll keep an eye out here on Stadium Seats. And what else we got here, Tay?
Okay, last questions, and don't laugh at me because y'all laughed at me last time I couldn't say his name. Let's talk a little bit about Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi.
Oh, stop.
I can't say it.
It's all good, girl.
Kawhi.
Okay.
Kawhi.
I want to say Hawaii, but I know it's not Hawaii. Kawhi Leonard. Is it true that he said LeBron is scared to guard him? That's a little bit too cocky for me. I mean, come on. They're both great players. They're both, in the pros. It's like, you don't say stuff like that. Is it true?
Quality.
Well, let me correct you on that. Say, those guys on that level, they do talk like that.
Do
but I'm not saying
or whatnot.
I'm not saying that. No, I think it gets intense. It really does on that level. And I don't know if Kawhi really said that. I mean, Lou Williams came out with a tweet and he cleared that up. The reports that he did not say that. And just knowing Kawhi, like, he's a really quiet and reserved individual. I don't think he even gets into all that. I don't think he's worried about LeBron. I mean, the Clippers already beat the Lakers twice already. They already proven that they're the best in the West, if it comes to that. But, I do think that there was a little during the offseason when the Lakers was trying to get Kawhi. I do think there was a miscommunication there, and there was some, spoiled milk over there, and that might have created some friction right now, but between both of them. But I don't think it's a big deal. The media is going to run with it. But long story short, I don't think right now LeBron being 35 years old, he can't guard Kawhi. Like he even if Kawhi said that, if he said it, it's true. He can't. Now, when LeBron was, in his, prime, could he guard Kawhi? Yeah, probably. Or that would be a good matchup to see. But that's just that's barbershop talk. But right now he really can't. Like Kawhi is he's on a different level right now. He's younger and he's in his groove right now. So but LeBron's older, but LeBron is still, the exceptional player. He's still one of the greatest players to come out the NBA. So,
no doubt.
That's my opinion.
I think that'd be a great matchup. I'd like to see it. Stadium Seats at Seat Stadium on our Twitter. Hit us up. Email us, stadiumseatspodcast@gmail.com. Find us on all major platforms now. Download, listen while you're driving to work, while you're chilling, while you're going to the gym, whatever, while you're walking around the neighborhood. Stadium Seats. It's a little bit different.
Can I just say this? Because I just ran across a tweet from Ricky Gervais addressing some of the people that were criticizing him. So, and I agree with him on all of this. So he says, number one, simply pointing out whether someone is left or right wing isn't winning the argument. Number two, if a joke is good enough, it can be enjoyed by anyone. I agree. Number three, it's not all about you. Thank you. Some people need to be reminded of that. Number four, and I like this one, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right.
No doubt. Shout out to that. Stadium Seats. Hey, catch our next episode this week. We have the divisional round picks coming up for you in the NFL. We have the national championship picks coming for you. So you want to make that money? Listen to our show. Okay?
For you.
Absolutely.
For you.
No doubt. Hey, we're going to talk about the games, breaking them down this week on our next show. And we're also going to talk about that national championship game that's coming up. Big game. Okay? And Jake Fromm from Georgia going pro. Okay? Hit us up. This is Frizz, Gemz, and Tay. We are out of here.
Peace.
We will see you next time. Stadium Seats.
It's Stadium Seats, so what can I say? It's the end of the show with Gemz, Frizz, and Tay. So tune in the next week, you know we bringing the heat. And subscribe to the page, you know we hot in the street. At Seat Stadium, the Twitter be that. Tay with the topics, she's bringing the facts. With the style so great and the swag so wrong. Stadium Seat Podcast at gmail.com. Love.